Hey, so today I'm going to talk about air rockets, and specifically I'm going to be in this video comparing air rockets to water rockets and telling you why I prefer the air rockets. I'm going to be talking about the launcher that I recommend getting, and most importantly, how to build the air rockets themselves. So just straight up, air rockets are easier. As a teacher, you want everything to be as easy as it can be and as awesome as it can be. And air rockets are both. For years, I did water rockets, and it was a lot of fun. The kids loved it, but you don't get as many launches in, and it's more of a pain. If you're going to any type of remote location, if you're even going to the other side of the field, you've got to have a water source there. They're harder to build. They're harder to gather the materials for. Air rockets are super easy for the kids to build. The air rockets are easy to launch. It's just everything about them is easier. And they're also really cool and versatile. Okay, so that's why I prefer the air rockets. The launcher that I recommend is from airrocketworks.com. And I'll put a link in the description below. I am not affiliated with the company, but they just make a really great, simple launcher that's quite safe and easy to build. And once it's easy to put together, you could just use it for years. And your students can just build all the free rockets you want. All right, let's make a rocket. So here I'm just using regular paper for this cheap rocket that I'm making real quick. I do recommend using cardstock. It works better. It makes them so much more resilient and stronger, and they even go farther. The little bit of extra weight actually helps. I'm using regular Scotch tape. You can definitely do that, but if you want a better, stronger tape is not a bad idea. So next, I'm going to show you how to make this fuselage more airtight on the end, and so it doesn't blow the nose cone off. You put it about a 1/2 inch above the pipe and fold it over. Then you're going to put a few pieces of tape over the top and then around the end. Also, something I wanted to mention, I am using the launch tube to make this one, but you can use any pieces of 1/2 inch PVC work perfectly. They're the exact same size. After taping, you're going to check and make sure that it's a little bit loose, but not too loose. If it's too loose, you'll lose air and it won't launch as far. If it's too tight, it can literally just blow up on the launcher. So here I'm cutting some fins out of, it's actually a big hunk box, but it's the same cardboard that all the cold cereal is in. So cold cereal cardboard works excellent for fins. You could use balsa or anything fancy like that, but just some small fins made out of cereal box cardboard is great. You're going to be taping those on, and it works better if you do that while the launch tube is still inside the rocket. Then you don't change the shape. Put a piece of tape halfway on the fin, line it up straight, and attach it. And then you're going to roll it over and tape the other side. Trim it off when you're done, and you'll be all set. Getting the fins straight is critical. If you get the fins crooked, it creates an incredible amount of drag, or it can make the rocket spin. Honestly, the number one thing for getting these things to go far is getting the fins nice and straight. Another thing that ends up being really important for a good flight is getting the right amount of weight. Depending on how many PSI you use on your launches, a little bit more or less weight can make a big difference. And that's something that the kids can obviously experiment with. And just make sure that you keep the PSI the same for each of their launches so that you have a good point of reference. Here I'm making the nose cone. I use a half circle. You could use, a third of a circle if you want, but you basically just wrap it around, tape it up, and slap that thing on there, and it's ready to go. None of this has to be perfect, and just getting that end sealed really well, the end of the fuselage where we folded it over and taped it, and making it to where it's not too loose and not too tight on there, getting everything straight will make an incredible rocket. You'll be super surprised, even just regular paper. This rocket that I'm completing here, I flew it in my backyard. Unfortunately, didn't get a very good quality video of it, so I'm not going to throw it on here. But it, went about 200 feet without any problem, and that's a pretty good launch for such a flimsy little, quick, easily made rocket. So that's basically it. Go out, make some rockets, and have some fun.